This is the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. And tonight, the final game of the regular season as Cincinnati pays a visit to Tulsa to take on the Golden Hurricane on senior night from H.A. Chapman Stadium. Mike Corey, Rini and Golia, hoping that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Welcome to tonight's matchup here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's been a struggle for Cincinnati this season. They look to end the year on a high note with a win. They've lost 4 in a row. Tulsa, on the other hand, is going to a bowl game. They try to close out the year winners of 4 of their last 5. The American standings, the East first, with South Florida and Temple leading the way there in that side of the conference. On the west side, Tulsa's been close this year, Rainey. They're really 2 plays away from potentially having a chance to play for the American Conference Championship.
I was told that a few times in the press box tonight. 2 plays away, but still an outstanding year for Tulsa. And then getting back to the East, Temple's really in control on that side. So the American Conference has played some really good football this season.
We are ready for action tonight. Coach Philip Montgomery in his 2nd season for Tulsa will have them back in a bowl game for the 2nd straight year. Cincinnati had been in 5 straight bowl games. Tommy Tuberville's squad went through a little bit of a struggle this season. We'll document the reasons why as this game progresses. Avery Johnson on the kickoff return for Cincinnati as Tulsa won the toss and they have deferred. So the Bearcats in offense for the first time here tonight.
And it's one of those games, Mike, where, you know, unfortunately for Cincinnati, you're not playing for a bowl game, but it's the last time your seniors are ever going to strap it up for all intents and purposes unless someone gets a shot at the pro. And so this is a big game for them.
Not the last time for this guy, though. Hayden Moore, sophomore out of Clay, Alabama. He started the season, got banged up a little bit. Now he has returned. They've went through a quarterback carousel this year.
All 3 quarterbacks have played, but Hayden Moore won the job outright in camp, and it was his team going into the season.
Tion Green, the running back, lines up on the outside here as they swing it around now to Devin Gray for the first time tonight in a short pickup off to the left side. They have really struggled offensively. That's no secret.
Well, they've been decimated by injuries. Tion Green is really their only experienced running back, and the way to get him some rest is they got to do some packages for the wide receivers, and we saw that on the first play of the game.
Moore's pass now to Nate Cole, and he's dropped right on the spot. Reggie Robinson was there for Tulsa to lay the hit.
Impressed with this Tulsa defense, Mike. We had them last week at UCF, and, you know, they don't have like one star of this defensive unit, but they got 11 guys that do their job, and they play excellent team defense.
Well, they really do. There's so much talk on the offense. If it wasn't for the defense, Tulsa no doubt wouldn't be where they are right now. It is 3rd and 8 for Cincinnati from the 25. Good time for Moore here, but a short pickup once again. Cole, he's not going to get away. Shy of the 30-yard line, 4th down, punt team 3 and out.
Well, you know, that time defensive coordinator Bill Young decided, I'm just going to rush 3. I'll have max coverage. They gave the underneath pass, just come up and make the sure tackle, get the 4th down, and a nice job by the Tulsa defense to start this game.
And Sam Geraci has seen the field way too much this season. His 60th punt of the campaign coming up as Jerian Anderson awaits and has it at the 30-yard line. And just over 5 yards on the return before he's wrestled down by Lyndon Stevens.
And speaking of the injuries for Cincinnati, even Sam Geraci, the punter, has been hurt this year with his patella tendon. So,
and now here comes the Tulsa offense tonight for the first time. Dane Evans, a senior out of Sanger, Texas. What a season he's having. He is 261 yards away from 3,000. Look at the offensive firepower this team has.
This has never been done in NCAA history. If Evans can get to 3,000 yards and Lucas and Atkinson can get to 1,000 receiving, they already have the 2 rushers. Unbelievable the pressure this offense puts on you with so many weapons across the field.
James Flanders starts in the backfield with the first play is a pass to Kevin Lucas on the reception. And a short gain of 4 yards.
You know, and Dane Evans, the 5th-year quarterback, you know, he's the orchestrates this offense. And I don't think he gets enough credit, Mike, not only in the conference, but nationally. He does a phenomenal job running this offense and is having a great, great year.
Well, he's a gamer as here's Flanders for the first time tonight. Not much doing on 2nd down. Evans is the all-time leading passer now in Tulsa history. with over 11,000 yards passing, and Flanders has been a nice compliment there in the backfield. They're going quickly as they do. 3rd down and 5, and now they'll check back to the sideline.
And Flanders is more that downhill guy where D'Angelo Brewer will make 1 or 2 cuts, but they both run the ball extremely hard. Good job up front by the offensive line this year to have 2,000-yard rushers.
Evans, and he tries to take off and trips. Just a 2-yard pickup. Kevin Mouton might have got a hand in there to knock him down.
Yeah, he definitely did. Dane Evans saw some green. He was going to pick up the first down, but Mouton did an excellent job getting a hand in there, tripping him up. 48, preventing the first down.
So Tulsa ends up going 3 and out as Braden Beard is back to return the Dalton Parks kick. Nice high kick by Parks. Beard's going to let it go. And Tulsa does an excellent job to down it inside the 5-yard line. And we will step aside. No score. Both teams with an early 3 and out on offense. More from Tulsa, Oklahoma here on this Friday night. College football on ESPN. Just underway in Tulsa here tonight. Early first quarter action. Second opportunity on offense for Cincinnati, and they're backed up inside of their own 5-yard line. Look at these numbers, Rennie, from the first 8 games into the last 4. It's been pretty bad. Yeah, 6.5 points the last 4 games. They just lacked explosive plays. It's been a tough year for first-year offensive coordinator Zach Taylor, who came from the Miami Dolphins. We go back over the last 4 games. Temple, BYU, UCF, and Memphis. What did they go, 13 quarters without a touchdown? Moore, again, a deep shot, and it's incomplete. He wanted Jerron Rollins. Looked like he had maybe a step there if that pass was a little bit more on the money. Well, there's their vertical shots. You know, one thing you got to realize about the wide receiving core this year is, you know, they just haven't had enough of them, Mike. You know, these wide receivers have been playing 80 plays a game, where ideally they would like to rotate them through. They're only playing 45 or 50, and been a tough year. Tion Green now on a 2nd down carry for a couple. And you mentioned the wide receivers. They lost 6 to graduation last year. You lose that kind of talent. And Tommy Tuberville's a coach who likes to redshirt some players, so they have a couple of really good players sitting out. And that's what the reason why they've struggled a little bit. Khalil Lewis, who had 48 receptions on the year, got concussed last week, so he's missing this game, and it's just one thing after another. 3rd and 7. Moore nowhere to go, brought down for a loss. Excellent coverage in the secondary by Tulsa. Colton Schindler was in on the play. It's a loss of 3, and it's 4th down. I mean, you said it. Great coverage on the back end. Moore gets forced out of the pocket, and Schindler comes up for the tackle. I mean, it's exactly the way you want to play it. You know, Hayden Moore really isn't a threat with his feet. Keep him in there. He's not going to really beat you with his speed to the outside. Nice job by Schindler to come up and make that play. Not a great punt here. It's going to bounce before midfield, and Tulsa will have the ball in Cincinnati territory when we come back. Just under 5 minutes gone by in the first. Tulsa back on offense after this. Dane Evans in Tulsa, 2nd offensive series of the game after just a 26-yard punt. They have it at the Cincinnati 45. Flanders. And James Flanders runs into his own guy. The ball is loose. Cincinnati has it, and the Bearcats have recovered. Chris Burton got in there and recovered the ball for Cincinnati. And that was one of the keys, Mike, for this Cincinnati defense. Create turnovers. They're -2 turnover ratio on the year, and they have to create them, and they got one right there. That's the 2nd forced fumble of the season for Carter Jacobs. You saw him right there, number 20. He got in there and did what you just said. And a great look at it. The ball was out from James Flanders before a knee hit the ground. Great view, and this is going to be Cincinnati ball. That's the 22nd turnover caused by the Cincinnati defense this year. They came in 24th in the country in that department as Green carries. and gets up close to midfield. Runs for about 8. But the problem with that, Rainey, is they've gained 22. They've turned it over 23.
Yeah, and that's where they're that minus in the turnover ratio, which didn't really seem to affect them last season, but they had a pretty productive offense last year.
And you see Tion Green wearing 23 tonight. And we'll get to that in a second as Moore on a second down is short. Finds his man Gray, and he's got the first down. Good extra move there at the end for Devin Gray. It's a first. So Green is wearing 23 in the backfield. And that's for former Bearcats running back Isaiah Peed, who suffered career-ending injuries in a car accident in Columbus, Ohio back on November 12th. He was over a 3,000-yard rusher in his Bearcat career, 3rd best in school history. So wearing number 23 tonight in honor of Peed. And now it's Deontay Buckley for the first carry tonight. So you had mentioned it, Reedy, about them being a few players down. Mike Boone, their sophomore running back, is out tonight. Chad Bonchbach, a junior running back, is out tonight. It's tough sledding for these guys.
And that was Deontay Buckley, only his 12th carry of the season, if that gives you any idea how far down the depth chart they've gotten at the running back position.
Moore, another shot. Geddes, he's open. He has it. That's a Cincinnati touchdown. Thomas Geddes, the true freshman. And the Bearcats strike first.
And how about Thomas Geddes, Mike? Only 4 receptions coming into this season, coming into this game. And there's the vertical shots that Zach Taylor told us they were going to take. Geddes, a 6'5", 170-pounder. As you said, a true freshman out of Pompano Beach, Florida. You see the speed with the vertical shot for that 38-yard touchdown reception.
How about that little move there inside of Reggie Robinson, normally a very good cover guy for Tulsa.
Ran a nice route, stemmed it, got back outside with good speed.
Just 1 touchdown last week versus Memphis in a 34-7 loss, and only 1 in the last 3 weeks. So a good start for the Bearcats here tonight. Bishop Louis on the return for Tulsa just gets across the 20-yard line. Extracurricular activity up at the 30-yard line here. Some pushing and shoving going on. No flags are down, and the Golden Hurricane now on offense for the 3rd time tonight. 3 and out with a punt. Then they just threw or had a fumble, and now here they throw an interception. It's picked off by Mike Tyson for Cincinnati. So they got the fumble recovery, and now they get an interception. And that's their 16th this season. They had 9 all of last year. And that's good for 11th in the country.
And Mike Tyson, the linebacker, number 5 for Cincinnati, is just sitting underneath. And I don't think Dane Evans saw him, Mike, because he throws it right to him. And Mike Tyson makes the catch for the interception. And again, the Cincinnati defense playing excellent. Steps underneath it, makes the interception, and gets the offense back the ball in prime position.
But it's all about doing what you just said, and that's capitalizing. They've given it right back. Not this game so far. They had a fumble recovery. They turned it to 7. And now what happens here? Just inside the 30-yard line. Look at the offensive lineman go down. It's a pass back to Moore, and he's going to run with it with a convoy in front. Hayden Moore with his entire offensive line. He scores the touchdown. Pulling out all the stops here early tonight is Cincinnati up by 2 scores.
What a play call by Zach Taylor. We could see it from the booth. Clearly a lateral, that first pass. You knew he was going to throw it. The only thing we didn't know was they were going to throw it back to Hayden Moore with a convoy with his offensive line in front of him. I mean, you practice these plays in practice, and they never even worked that good, you know, in the practice field. That was picture perfect for the Cincinnati Bearcats. And listen, pull all the plays out, right? It's the last game of the season. No sense keeping them for next year. And right now they're looking pretty good early on in this game.
What a creative play. That was pretty exciting for Cincinnati. Just see the offensive line just drop right down. And Hayden Moore getting the pass back and walking in for the touchdown. There was nobody that was going to stop him. 14-0 Cincy. What a start for Cincinnati. 14-0 over Tulsa midway through the first. We'll show you the touchdown after the kick. Rainey, this is unbelievable.
Well, I mean, this is what Zach Taylor told us he was going to do go after those big plays, those explosive plays. We've seen it already time and time, taking shots vertically down the field, and then that time a little trickeration, if you will, for the second touchdown of the game.
Well, that was Cogswell, Tyler Cogswell, that was able to throw it back to Moore that time, and you have to make it fun for a group that's struggling a little bit in practice. As here's the kick with Rowdy Simon this time for Tulsa, and dropped to the 15-yard line.
Well, the good news for Tulsa fans is we know how explosive this offense is, but, you know, I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to give anyone 14-0 lead early on in the game.
Play fake, Evans goes deep for Lucas. Outstretched arms, he makes the catch with one hand. Kevin Lucas.
Forget SportsCenter top 10. That's one of the catches of the year right there, Mike. Full speed, Kevin Lucas extends the right hand and pulls it in. Unbelievable catch.
And right back to the ground of Flanders, and he runs close to a first down just before the 25-yard line. That's the 10th catch of the season of 40 or more yards for Lucas. That one went for 47.
And make no mistake about it, Tulsa is not going to give replay any chance to look at a play. They go so fast.
Not the way Flanders has been running this year. It's a first down run inside the 10. He got tripped up by Alex Thomas.
And they make it really hard for the viewer at home to get a second look at it too, because they go quick. They're instructed to hand the ball to the official so they can spot it and go. And as I said, foot on the gas pedal here.
Flanders again. And down to the 5-yard line. We'll get a chance. We'll show it to you again because it was amazing on the grab by Kevin Lucas. He's now over 1,000 yards receiving this year. Did that in exciting fashion, and he's third place all time in Tulsa receiving yards. James Flanders looking for Pager. He has it. Touchdown, Tulsa. You said it. It didn't take long.
And that's how explosive this offense is. And you get that offensive line, they are at best when they're pulling. Tyler Bowling, 72, is going to pull out in front. Willie Wright, 58. And James Flanders does a nice job reading those blocks, finding pay dirt.
6 plays, 85 yards in under 2 minutes. They specialize in that this season. 1 minute and 36. All 5 of their scoring drives last week were under 2 minutes, and the first one of this game, same situation.
Unbelievable catch by the senior Kevin Lucas. The payoff touchdown run by James Flanders. And don't wink, because you'll miss a touchdown from Tulsa.
16th rushing touchdown of the season for James Flanders, and Tulsa gets 7 back. Exciting start here tonight. This is perfect, right? After a long day yesterday, Turkey, you're tired. You get to sit back and watch some exciting football in action here early in the first inning.
Absolutely. You're home. You get a little plate of leftovers.
That's right.
Ready to go.
3 scores on the board early. 5:44 to play. Cincinnati has done a nice job of making this exciting here from the start with 2 early touchdowns, and then Tulsa comes back with what they do, a scoring drive in under 2 minutes.
And Tommy Tuberville and Cincinnati, they knew coming in this game they had to score a bunch of points to stay in this game because the Tulsa's offense is that explosive.
Jerron Rollins, not quite to the 20-yard line as the Bearcats have it up by 7. Taylor Booz on the carry this time for the first time tonight. It's a 4-yard run by the redshirt freshman out of Clifton, Virginia. So he has been thrust into action tonight with all the injuries.
Yeah, guys that just normally wouldn't see time are in there, and really they just can't beat up Tion Green and give him every carry. So getting some more guys in there, some packages for the wide receivers on end arounds and jet sweeps, just trying to mix it up. 2nd
down and 6. Moore on the keeper, and is able to eke out a first down up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 7 by the sophomore quarterback.
Trent Martin, the middle linebacker, thought he had him tackled at the line of scrimmage, but Moore does a nice job to evade him, get upfield, and pick up that first down.
You wonder how much different this season would have been for Cincinnati had Hayden Moore not sprained his ankle in that Houston game. That was a valiant effort in that game. They give up a few points late, but then he has never been the same since.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nate Cole in motion. Play fake. Moore again. They're taking another shot. Geddes, and Geddes hauls this one in. He's got it at the 20-yard line. What a grab. Couldn't get it the first time. It makes good this time. What a job on that play.
The exact same route he ran for the touchdown against Reggie Robinson in the corner. That time he just bent it more towards the post. Had Robinson beat. Moore puts it out there, and he makes another big-time catch.
He's 2 for 3, if you will, on these long balls. The first one, no, you called it, the touchdown one, and now he's come back with this grab. Moore on another design keeper, and puts his head down and gets close to the 5-yard line. He's a gamer, that's the thing, and he's going to be back for a couple more seasons for this Bearcat team.
You know, you talked about it. This is a program that's been good, prideful. This year's just an aberration, but these kids want to play hard. They want to end the season on a good note for the seniors and get a win.
Second down and goal from the 5. Play fake to Buckley, and on the rollout, pass deflected by Linscott as he wanted Nate Cole. And what a season Linscott has had for Tulsa.
Former walk-on, it's earned a scholarship, but you're right. Great coverage underneath as Moore tried to get that in there to Nate Cole. Linscott jumps it underneath and gets that hand on it to deflect it.
Certainly breaks up what could have been Cincinnati's 3rd touchdown tonight. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd down. Deontay Buckley in the backfield on the stack formation in the wide receiver positions. Moore guns it, Cole, and he couldn't quite turn around in time. And it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, they sent some pressure after him there. Cincinnati did a good job protecting Moore. I thought he threw it a little soon, but good coverage as well, and a nice job by the Tulsa defense to hold Cincinnati to a field goal attempt.
As we Rudy, as we document all the things that have happened to Cincinnati this season, I mean, this is another one. Their kicker has been unbelievable. Andrew Gantz tore a muscle in his hip in training camp. He played in basically 1.5 games, so it's been Josh Paisley that has had the majority of the time this season, and 8 of 14 on the field goals. This one a chip shot, though, and he's able to knock it through. And they'll take it. 17-7 early action here in favor of the Bearcats. And you had mentioned a moment ago, this Cincinnati team, they went to a school record 5 straight bowl games last year. They lost to San Diego State in the Hawaii Bowl. They played in a bowl in 9 of the last 10 years. So this is, if you will, a little bit of a blip on the radar. I know it's not been a fun season for Cincinnati fans, but they have a little bit of understanding about what's happened here.
And there were some young players that Tommy Tuberville decided to redshirt that he could have probably played as true freshman and helped them a little bit, but I think he's probably glad that he did, and I think with the recruiting class and those players that he redshirted last year coming up next year, I think Cincinnati will be back on track where people are accustomed to see them. As great as this offense has been, Mike, with the explosive plays, they've had a ton at the running game, and they run the ball first and foremost.
Evans, and a little miscommunication there, wanted Atkinson. Sailed it by him.
Yeah, Atkinson hooked that up, Mike. Dane Evans thought he was going to keep going and just out of sync, uncharacteristically for those two.
Under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Crowd a little stunned here tonight, too, at Tulsa. They thought they might come in here and roll early and often, but we'll see. A lot of time obviously left as Brewer with a 13-yard run gets to midfield.
You know, we asked head coach Philip Montgomery, listen, Cincinnati's not having a good year. How do you keep your kids with an eye on this game, not thinking about a bowl game and a 10-win season? He felt they were mature and up to the challenge, not looking ahead.
Evans runs for about 4. Nice job to take off there. Eric Wilson makes the tackle for Cincinnati.
And if I'm Philip Montgomery, I tell Dane Evans, slide.
Sure.
Don't take that hit there, especially just slide. You know, you picked up 4. You can go ahead and slide and pick up 2. I'll be okay with 2nd and 8. We want to keep you healthy.
Brewer needs to get to the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short on the way in this sustained drive that's happening here for Tulsa, and that might be the last play of the first quarter.
Well, you said it. They take their time when they want to, but when they get explosive plays, that's when they go fast, get on the ball, keep the defense on their heels, and it's a very well-run offense.
Well, not what many people have expected or were expecting here tonight in this one, with a struggling Cincinnati team and the high-powered offense of Tulsa. And it's been the Bearcats that got on the board early and often. They lead it by 10, 17-7. To the second quarter we go from Tulsa right after this. Most points Cincinnati has scored in a quarter all season. Get fired up here tonight.
Those look like your moves, Mike. I've seen you dance up here before.
Better than my moves.
Is that your dance teacher?
I like the earmuffs / headphones, whatever those are, right? 10-point lead for Cincinnati as we head to the second. Mike Corey, Rainey, and Golia, 1 touchdown last game here. Already 2 in this first quarter tonight as Tulsa has the ball, and that was the 10th play of this drive, which they continue, and it's a first down. Cincinnati had only 1 touchdown in the last 3 games, and they're playing like the Cincinnati of old here.
Well, 17 points in that first quarter, the most points they've scored in a quarter all season.
Not much on the catch by Lucas. And when you have such an explosive offense, Rudy, right, you can do what you want to do for a long period of time. You don't have to, you know, some teams, they're like, oh boy, we're down 10 or we're down 20. Now with Tulsa, you can continue to run your game plan for a long time.
Yeah, you're in a lot of games, even when you're down by a bunch. And we've seen some great comebacks from Tulsa this season. So they do not get nervous when they're down.
Brewer on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and about 5 on the way. They actually have the 2nd largest comeback in the history of college football in a game earlier this season when they came back at Fresno State down by 31 points to win back in week 4 in double overtime.
Yeah, on the road, just stay within yourself, making plays, and that's what it's about.
It's going to be 3rd and 6, and this is the 16th play of this drive upcoming.
Now, you want to finish drives off like this, obviously, with touchdowns, not field goals. So a big 3rd down here.
Evans looking left, right to Lucas the entire time, and he is brought down, but it's going to be enough for the first. As Carter Jacobs is there to make the play. And now let's see, looked initially, he was past the stick, and then the spot comes back 1.5 yards.
I think he's short, Mike. Carter Jacobs, what an unbelievable job. He shoots up the alley from the safety position, tackles Kevin Lucas, and I think he clearly keeps him about 1/2 yard short as he brings him down. I think it's a great play by the safety. Now, does Philip Montgomery go for it? And I think he does here.
That was a little early on the call that time. I apologize, and they will. 4th down and 1. James Flanders now in the backfield, and it is 4th and 1. Flanders gets the call, ran into the back of his own offensive lineman, and he's not going to have it. But right into the back that time, Alex Pagonis, and he just kind of stonewalled him.
We talked about how good the defensive line of Cincinnati was. Alex Pagonis, 75 for Tulsa, gets blown back, and you saw the penetration by this Cincinnati defensive line, and they came here to play tonight. 17-7, they lead it in Tulsa.
Cincinnati. What a stand after a 17-play drive by Tulsa, and they came up empty on the catch. Josiah DeGara. And that's a first down. Oh, now again, stepped out. Geez, what's wrong with me? The 17-yard line. He's dove ahead across the 20. They say his foot stepped out.
Yeah, didn't get the spot. But again, I love the different formations Zach Taylor's coming out with here, spreading around and really throwing it around to multiple different guys.
2nd down and short. And now Tulsa defensively getting in there in this run game here that's been stymied a little bit because of some of the injuries. Tion Green tonight with Deontay Buckley and Taylor Boose. That time Buckley, and just a little bit shy of the first down.
Yeah, 3rd down here. Let's see if this Tulsa defense can get off the field. Short huddle for Cincinnati. See if they run it here.
Maybe a sneak by Moore. Nope, they want to pass. Hayden Moore dropping back. Going deep for Devin Gray, and he's got him. Devin Gray outrunning the D. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 83 yards. What is happening with the Bearcats tonight?
I mean, it's just a phenomenal play call. You think they're going to run it. They're a tight formation, quick out of the huddle. Little play action, and Devin Gray, the junior, just a post pattern right down the middle. and he just runs by the safety, Jeremy Brady. It's a mismatch with a safety like Brady on a receiver like Gray. Goes right by him. Excellent throw by Hayden Moore. And again, vertical shot they told us they were going to take. Not only are they taking him tonight, Mike, but they are completing them. Those big plays that they've been missing all season long.
Is this a nothing to lose mentality, or is that something that you probably normally do there, you know, from that area of the field? We know they take shots, but
I think it's a little of both.
Wow. 24-7. Cincinnati on some big pass plays. They've been missing this all season long. Well, they're getting it here tonight. And a big lead over the Golden Hurricane on the road. Tommy Tuberville has to love what he's seen here tonight in this game, but also thinking that could we have done this throughout the season as well?
Well, you know, with the issues they had during the season, sometimes you press a little bit. Well, hey, nothing to lose now. Last game of the season, you're not playing for a bowl game. You're playing for your seniors and pride and to get momentum for next year. And boy, the offense looks outstanding in this first half.
Kickoff from Ryan Jones and Bishop Louis from his 3-yard line for Tulsa. Good head of steam and powers his way across the 30-yard line as we. Flanders across the 35-yard line here for Tulsa. What does the Golden Hurricane have to do here in this first half? They're going to get the second half kickoff, Rainey, so it's imperative here on this drive to try to get some points, right?
Yeah, I think get their pace going. This offense runs better when they're going fast, but to go fast, you got to get some productive plays on first down, stay ahead of the chains.
Flanders, again, not doing too much, and they have to be weary of the fact that this is a different Cincinnati team here tonight, the way they are playing. So you almost can't get in your mind like, oh, that's okay, we'll score a ton of points in the second half. It might not be that easy.
Well, they have nothing to lose, Cincinnati, and that defensive front is very good. And Tulsa knew that coming into this game, and they're showing it tonight, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Flanders has 67 yards rushing on 14 carries right now. It's a 3rd down and 4 for Tulsa.
And we haven't seen any vertical shots down the field for Tulsa. Contrary, we've seen a ton for Cincinnati.
Evans in the crossing route for Lucas and makes a special grab there before the 45. Nice touch pass, and Lucas, some solid hands for that guy.
Well, you're right. Solid catch, good strength, because Mike Tyson was all over him, but Lucas still makes the catch to move the chains.
Now burst up the middle by Flanders. That's a gain of 8. They've done such a nice job this season of managing clock here, too. I think they want to try to control this clock for the remainder of this first half. Doesn't it seem like that? Short passes to the outside here. Keenan Johnson, first down.
Yeah, ideally, if you're Philip Montgomery, you control the pace here. You go down, score a touchdown. Don't give Cincinnati, any time to counter and get it to the house 24-7, 24-14, and just kind of regroup for the second half.
Flanders again, steady dose of him. James Flanders has 6 100-yard rushing games this season. He's always got a smile on his face. One of the most fun guys to be around with this group for Tulsa this year.
And having a great year, and it's nice to see the 5th-year senior end his career with a great season that he's having.
Johnson again on the catch, and they like to go on that side for him and Keenan Johnson. You think about the future of Tulsa in the wide receiver group. He is it, along with Justin Hobbs, at least the 2 that have gained the most experience this year. Talking about number 8 and 29 for Tulsa. Haven't heard from Hobbs yet tonight as Flanders again on the first down run. Clock is now inside of 2 minutes. And Tulsa still has all 3 of their timeouts remaining as well.
And if you notice, Cincinnati on defense doing a nice job subbing when they get a chance to get fresh bodies in there up front defensively. So they're really playing a lights-out defensive game. 3 takeaways in this first half already for them.
Evans finds Lucas again on the cross. First down inside the 20, back inside the red zone. That's a gain of 11.
And again, just an inside slant for Kevin Lucas. Nice ball by Dayton Evans to put it on him to pick up the first down.
Flanders, and nothing happening there as Eric Wilson, the first on the scene, on another tackle for Cincy.
We talked about Eric Wilson. I mean, he just sits there in that middle linebacker spot, and if you don't come out and put a hat on him as an offensive lineman, he's going to shoot through that gap and make the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he did it again right there.
Playmaker on defense, led the team 12 tackles last game, and a forced fumble and a fumble recovery, and he puts them in a 2nd down and 10 spot here with under a minute to play in the first half. Evans. And well over the head of Lucas, and pressure was coming in by Kevin Muhan that time for Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, he felt Muhan coming from his right side, and there's no doubt Dane Evans just launched that, threw that one away to live for 3rd down here.
Got a good field goal kicker in Redford Jones, so of course always an option here to try to make it a 2-possession ball game.
And obviously plenty of time left, 49 seconds. You got all 3 timeouts. You got the entire field to you here. 3rd and 9 is a tough down in distance.
Need to try to come up with some points here on this drive if you're Tulsa. Get the ball to start the second half as well. Evans for Lucas to the end zone. Lucas, touchdown. Keegan Lucas and the Golden Hurricane. What a grab.
When we look at this reception again by Kevin Lucas, Mike, I want you to notice his left hand. He doesn't interfere, but he just kind of wards off Mike Tyson just ever so much to separate. Dane Evans throws a beautiful pass in there, and Lucas goes up and makes the touchdown catch.
Flags are thrown, Rainey, and speaking of separation, they had to break apart the 2 teams there, and Tyson, thought he had part of that ball. Ty goes to the offensive player, though, so Tyson almost with his 3rd pick of the game. Lucas says, no, I've got the touchdown. And now on their 50th play of the half, they've had the ball for quite some time, and they've drove down the field, and they've got to be surprised themselves with only having 14 points right now, but they're back in it, down by only 10.
I mean, credit the Cincinnati defense, but that was an important drive by Tulsa to get some momentum going into half.
And Tulsa's going to receive the second half kickoff, but it's a Cincinnati advantage. Look at this. 26 points the last 4 games. They've got 24 already here tonight in the first half.
Listen, takeaways on defense, and then they've put them into points offensively. A great night for them thus far.
After the break, Adnan Verk, Denny Cannell, and Jonathan Vilma in the studio right after this with a halftime report. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Here tonight from Tulsa, Oklahoma, senior night for the Golden Hurricane as they trail it by 10 at the half to Cincinnati, 24-14. Mike Corey and Reedy Ngolia getting you ready for the start of this second half. And Tulsa gets the ball to start the second half as Bishop Louis just outside of his own goal line. On the return, there's a nice hole up the middle and gets a block and is tripped up to the 35-yard line. First half stats, in Cincinnati, a team that has had a bunch of takeaways this season. The problem is they have given them back. Well, they didn't do that so far in this first half.
You see the forced turnovers by Cincinnati 3. They got 14 points off it. And don't forget, they stopped Tulsa down at the goal line on 4th down. That's as good as a takeaway. So really 4 takeaways in that first half for Cincinnati.
0 for 5 in the 3rd down conversions, though, and there was one play where they had a catch that got overturned.
Reversed, yeah.
That was very upsetting to head coach Tommy Tuberville because they had 4 straight possessions where they scored points.
But it was the right call.
It was. Nothing happening here on 1st down. And how about on the ground here tonight? I mean, coming off the heels of the 167 rushing yards with Flanders and Brewer, as that was Flanders that time, they've pretty much been held in check here in this ball game.
Statistically, they've had a good night running the ball, 141 yards, but just not those big plays that we're used to seeing and those explosives.
I think that's where you're right. And there's Flanders now in a big gash up the middle. That's going to be a 1st down run. That's a good point, because actually I look at the numbers and I say it's really all not that bad, but I think we're used to seeing them gash defenses on 20, 30, 40-yard runs.
Correct. And then all of a sudden, boom, that home run, that 60-yard run that they've done time and time again. Just haven't done it yet tonight in this game.
And Flanders gets to midfield and just across it. And Wilson comes back in.
And it's important for the Tulsa offense to get 4 or 5 yards on 1st down. That's staying ahead of your change, and that opens them up.
Evans guns it. And that's Justin Hobbs on his first catch tonight. Good for the first down. And Hobbs will have a few more years to go. The sophomore out of Overland Park, Kansas, the third leading receiver for this team.
And that was a little crossing route as Lucas went outside, Hobbs came inside, and they've had some success on those slant patterns tonight.
Tonight, though, they're making some plays, especially offensively. Antonio Kennard here on the tackle on the run by Flanders. And with a 10-point advantage, you got to be weary the way this Tulsa team is able to score and do it quickly. Flanders is over 100 yards rushing tonight. And right back to him, a burst up the middle. Gets by multiple defenders, takes a hit, and gets down close to the 10.
And that's what James Flanders does best. He's a downhill runner, great forward lean, runs behind his pads, and you need to wrap him up. And you're going to see Mike Tyson 5 come in, just kind of shoulder hit him as he falls forward. He now has 130 yards rushing on the game.
Look at him scoot right through there, and he does it again. Flanders down to the 1-yard line. He is now over 2,000 rushing yards for his career. He joins Brewer for that mark, and why not? They've both been inseparable, 1 and 2 throughout this entire season. Right back to Flanders, and this time held up. It'll be second down and goal. Caleb Ashworth was in there for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Ashworth got really low, and that's how you stop a back like Flanders. Get in there, tackle him low, stop that momentum, let your teammates come to wrap him up and hold him short.
Already has the 5-yard touchdown run earlier, one of the 2 touchdowns by Tulsa tonight. Evans guns it, and it is caught, and it's Hobbs. He's in, touchdown.
Well, that's a couple times tonight that Tulsa receivers have kind of been tussling with the ball with Mike Tyson, the outside linebacker for Cincinnati, and Hobbs does a nice job fighting away and really looked like he was being held, not only double team, looked like Tyson might have been holding him as well, but boy, Dane Evans throws it in there, has confidence that Justin Hobbs can make the catch. He does, and then he fights his way in for the touchdown.
And there's a sandwich there in between with Tyson and Lyndon Stevens, the 2 defenders kind of converging there, and Hobbs able to make the touchdown grab for his 4th of the season.
Well, Stevens did a nice job from that corner spot to read it and come off his guy, so it looked like double coverage, but boy, Hobbs just fought for it harder, made the catch, and a big score for Tulsa.
And just like that, they are within 3. Here we've got a good one. It's a 3-point ball game. Cincinnati's lead has been trimmed to 3 with just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Just over 3 minutes into the third quarter, I should say, and a big kickoff here off the leg of Redford Jones. And it is, well, we've got a good one here tonight with a 3-point ball game in Cincinnati and Tulsa out of the American Athletic Conference, as it's Tion Green with this carry in the first play in this series, starting from the 13-yard line is Cincinnati. Picks up 6. Remember wearing the jersey, Isaiah Peed, former running back for the Bearcats. Over 3,000-yard rusher, got injured in a car accident. He's playing in the NFL as Green honoring him and running hard to the 30 for a first down.
Yeah, the senior, as you said, Mike, out of Sanford, Florida, just outside of Orlando, Lake Brantley High School. He's a big boy, 6 foot, 230 pounds, and when he turns a corner and squares those shoulders up, he's a load to bring down.
Play fake here by Hayden Moore. Taking another shot, got a man open, Jerron Rollins. He has it. Needs to outrun 3 Tulsa defenders. Rollins will do just that. Touchdown, Bearcats. 70 yards, and the big play strikeability from Cincinnati has come out in this game tonight.
And another true freshman, Jerron Rollins out of Miami, Florida. Just a 9 route down the sideline. No one covers him for Tulsa. He runs right by, makes the catch, and then the speed to get to the corner and outrun the defenders of Tulsa. And again, another home run for Cincinnati tonight.
How many Cincinnati fans out there right now are watching this saying,
where has this been?
This been? Right. that all of a sudden you can just do it. You almost understand, like in late stages of games when defenses are playing off of you and all of a sudden you start making plays. Well, where was this all game? It's like, well, they're playing prevent defense. I don't think Tulsa's doing anything different.
And how many Tulsa fans are out there saying, how many times are you going to let them run by you? Because that was like the third or fourth time tonight that they've hit a home run on a vertical shot.
Over 300 yards passing by Hayden Moore tonight. Let's break this down. What happened here?
Good route by Rollins, good protection up front. Hayden Moore just puts it out there where his young receiver can go get it, and then just outruns the Tulsa secondary to the end zone. I mean, that's some celebration that is long overdue for this Cincinnati offense. We talked about their struggles the past few games scoring, but virtual explosion for them with 31 points.
And how about Cincinnati giving their faithful something to really look forward to next year? All those players are coming back. And the fair catch called for at the 25-yard line. Flanders again. You know, and he asked Coach Montgomery about James Flanders, and he said that, you know, he felt like he was going to have a really good year, but I don't think he expected as much as he's done for this team, the way he's run and the numbers that he's put up.
No, they didn't envision that. They were hoping for it. They didn't envision it. And, but boy, what a pleasant surprise for Coach Montgomery this season with the running of James Flanders.
Getting good blocking up front there, too, as well. And got to credit the tight end. You see number 6, Chris Minter, out in front a bunch of times as well as he's lined up there in the backfield.
He doesn't catch a lot of passes, but a very good blocker.
That's a sophomore. He'll be back out of Temple, Texas. And this time they're right on him, and that's Kennard who makes the play on a first down run. Antonio Kennard is his final game of his career. And the weak side linebacker spot for Cincinnati, very special. He was moved to middle linebacker and third on the team in tackles this season with over 80.
Yeah, nice job filling. And obviously there's going to be emotions running high for these guys. Seniors, for most of them, it's the last time they're going to strap it up and play. And I know it hit you like a ton of bricks.
Second down, Evans, and the back shoulder finds Atkinson. And we came into this game mentioning what Atkinson needed to get to 1,000 yards receiving because they got a big number that they're trying to reach. He hasn't been involved too much tonight, though.
And it was decent coverage by Lyndon Stevens, but as you said, back shoulder pass, give Atkinson a chance to go make that catch behind him, and he does it.
Only his second grab tonight is to go back to Brewer. Under 2 minutes to play in the third. This is the most that I've seen Tulsa look back and take their time on offense this season.
The slowest we've seen them go.
Right. Evans. Lucas. How many amazing catches is he going to make? Does it again.
And give Dane Evans credit, Mike. They blitzed Carter Jacobs, the safety. Evans knew he was coming. He saw him, stepped up and delivered the ball, and Kevin Lucas goes up and makes another great catch.
So acrobatic as Brewer, after a 27-yard pickup, stonewalled by Kennard and Copeland.
You know, Kevin Lucas only 5'10", but boy, he can climb the ladder, get up there and high point the ball, and he does it right here. Great concentration.
Spectacular. His 8th catch of the night. Good for 120 yards. His 11th career game, over 100 yards receiving. Putting on a show here for the fans in his final home game in his career. Flanders now. And stopped at the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal upcoming with under 30 seconds to play in the third.
And it would be huge for the Cincinnati defense if they can hold Tulsa to a field goal here as we approach the fourth quarter.
Well, no doubt. Let's see. Flanders in the backfield. We got Hobbs at the top of the screen. Lucas in the slot with Atkinson Evans, and they are going to stop him, and they'll drop him for a loss of a couple that time as Chris Burton was in there. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter, and it'll be 4th and goal for Tulsa when we come back.
Well, the Cincinnati defense did what they needed to do, stop them, force them to a field goal attempt here.
Exciting action in the third quarter as well. Cincinnati maintaining their lead, extending it back up to 10. Tulsa with a fight on their hands here tonight at home. Not what they expected. We'll be back with the 4th after this. Welcome back to Tulsa. 10-point lead for Cincinnati as we head to the 4th. Mike Corey and Rainey Ngolia. Field goal opportunity now for Tulsa after being stopped just outside the 5-yard line. So here's Redford Jones. And the fourth quarter begins with him getting it through, and not the way he would have liked. A little unconventional, but it's 24-yarder. Tommy Tuberville's on the field, on the turf. You can't believe it.
I mean, you should get 4 points for that. You hit both, you hit both uprights, and it still goes in, and it's just unbelievable. He hooks it.
Look at that.
Hits the left upright, caroms over to the right one, and makes it in. But you know what? They don't draw a pitcher, so it all counts for 3. But boy, Tommy Tuberville just is like, are you kidding me?
Is this deflected by somebody from Cincinnati at the line? It's a pinball way to knock in a field goal for sure off both posts.
It's just been one of those years, Cincinnati.
Yep.
You got to be kidding me, Tommy Tuberville. It goes through, but it did. Counts for 3. Not the same.
Does it happen to you a lot?
A few times.
And the pinball field goal from 24 yards out. And Beard on the return is going to be dropped before the 20-yard line for Cincinnati. Moore gets time in the pocket and is able to throw a strike for Geddes, who dives down for the reception. First down for Cincinnati.
And another big catch for the true freshman Thomas Geddes. And you're right, good protection up front. Hayden Moore steps up and throws a fastball low and away. Geddes goes down, makes the catch for the first down.
I think a little bit of pushing and shoving here tonight after that last call that we had, as Cincinnati has the ball. And we take a look at it, you know, it was a kick-catch interference. Even Santa was upset.
When Santa's angry, watch out. You know, we're getting close. Thanksgiving's, we're done with Thanksgiving. Christmas right around the corner. And boy, refs made Santa mad. They're going to be on the naughty list, but they got it right because Braden Beard definitely signaled fair catch.
And here's Tion Green for Cincinnati, just inside the 45-yard line of Tulsa. Well, I mean, today with your fair catch calls, I mean, sometimes it's just a quick wave of the hand. And that's a big third down now for Cincinnati. Crowd trying to come alive. They have not been great on third down tonight. Moore has been great, though, over 340 yards passing with the 3 touchdowns. Moore again looking for Gray, another shot, and the same result. And coverage by Reggie Robinson, redshirt freshman cornerback. It's 4th and 1 for Cincinnati. Not going to try a 49-yard field goal. They're going to go for it here, trying to keep this drive alive. Moore's pass. Cole, he has it. First down. Nate Cole comes up big again in his final game as a Bearcat senior out of Memphis, Tennessee.
And again, just a big cushion on 4th and 1. You know, Tulsa kind of overloads the box, think they're going to run it, and they run an out pattern and a good throw by Hayden Moore, and they move the chains.
And that's really their one guy back in the wide receiver group with experience. I mean, they lost those 6 players to graduation, the senior laden receiving group that they had last year in a season in which they finished 7-6, went to a bowl game. Flecker, Moore getting it back from Green into the end zone, and it's almost intercepted. It was Jeremy Brady back there on coverage. And it was intended for Jerron Rollins.
Well, they didn't fool anyone, boy. And I tell you what, if Jeremy Brady would have turned his hips and ran to the back of the end zone, he would have an easy interception. He just kind of stood there and then kind of got flat-footed, couldn't get up and make that interception.
And Tulsa has to be wary here of, once again, potentially 4-down territory, really, with their backup field goal kicker all season. So as Green carries, finds a hole off to the right side and is down just inside the 20. And the clock goes under 7 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. See some of the big games coming up tomorrow. How about Deshaun Watson and Clemson? Heisman favorite coming into the season. I know Lamar Jackson's been outstanding for Louisville, but Clemson's got a chance at the playoff spot.
And that's what it's about, not the individual awards. We're trying to win the final prize, the college football playoff championship.
Big 3rd and 2 with a pass to the outside. It's going to be well behind the line to gain as Rollins makes the catch, but Thomas comes up to lay the stick. And do we see it again here? 4th down opportunity now for Cincinnati. Do they go for it yet again?
I think they're going to kick, Mike, and try to get up by 10. Craig Suits, 28, the linebacker, almost tips that. But Kerwin Thomas reads it perfectly as well, comes up and makes that tackle for the loss.
Much more manageable now on a 39-yard field goal attempt for Josh Paisley. Hit one earlier, 23. Paisley on the kick, and that one is good. So Cincinnati has gone up 10 points here with under 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Inspired football tonight from the Bearcats. Can they hang on in this one? There has been a lot of big-time plays made in this game by young talent. I mean, you have to think about it coming in. 68 players on this roster are sophomores or younger. Short kick. They try to limit a big return, and Tulsa here in a fight tonight. They are down by 10. Evans finds Atkinson. And a first down just over midfield. Remember, they have all 3 of their timeouts left. So does Cincinnati. Still a lot of football left here. Just over 5 minutes to go.
And just like that, they're past midfield and in striking distance.
Flanders again. And how many times has he been able to do that where it's just a chunk of 4, 5, 6 yards, and give that offensive line a ton of credit, not only tonight, but this whole entire season. And giving Evans time to pass, and now Evans finds a seam and slides for the first.
And that's exactly what you want to do. You have that green grass in front of you, you take it, you know you got the first down, then go down, avoid the hit.
Now Brewer's in, D'Angelo Brewer to the right of Evans. And the draw, spin move by Brewer, taken down from behind. Caleb Ashworth for Cincinnati, and this is more the tempo that we're used to seeing.
Absolutely.
Johnson, he fumbles the football after the catch. Does he get it back? Keenan Johnson. And he does, avoiding what really possibly could have been the ball game if he fumbles this football.
I think he hits it with his own knee and knocks it out, and should have been recovered by Cincinnati. He did a great job to get it back.
I mean, Perry Young was right there. Freshman versus freshman that time. Brewer is stopped by Marquise Copeland.
And Copeland is a strong dude in there. 6'3", 260 pounds from Cleveland, Ohio. But you see when he got his big paws on D'Angelo Brewer, put him back the other way.
Still a ton of time as Evans is a little off the mark with his pass here, intended for Lucas, who has made some incredible catches, not only in this game, but throughout his entire career. That's a tough one, though, there.
It was. That one was a little behind. Kevin Lucas tried to adjust to make the catch, but just couldn't do it.
Obviously, you need some sort of points here. You can go for the field goal if you don't get it here on 3rd down.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what you do here if you're Philip Montgomery. You don't pick this first down up. You kick it and get it back to a one-possession game. Evans,
Dangerous throw, and maybe more interference and contact. Atkinson says, where's the flag? And it comes in late.
And in all fairness, it wasn't that it was a late decision by the official. He just could not get his flag out. from his pants. He was reaching for it, trying to get it. It took him about 3 seconds.
Number 9, automatic first down.
As Lyndon Stevens defending.
And it's a good call as the receiver, Atkinson, tries to adjust it. Stevens kind of reaches in there, holds him, and it's the right call by the official. Just took him a while to dig the flag out.
Runs right into him. So as I say about the penalties, trying to keep that to a minimum here. You know, Cincinnati is just, they don't want to give it up. They don't want to give up that big play. And right now they've put Tulsa inside of the 10-yard line. The ball is going to be placed at the 5 with 1st and goal. And now touchdown on the mind for Tulsa here. And with all 3 of their timeouts left, can play defense. They got to get points first. Atkinson, and he couldn't grab it. And again, one-on-one with Lyndon Stevens.
And that time, Stevens had the right hand in there. You're going to see Josh Atkinson look like he's going to come down with the ball. Watch Stevens' right hand, put it in there and knock it out. Excellent job.
Yeah, and Atkinson would have came down in bounds, it looked like, too. Redeems himself and saves a touchdown. Evans again, guns it, and this one is caught for the touchdown. He's got Chris Minter, the tight end, on the grab for the score.
And only Minter's 2nd touchdown on the season. Good play action fake. Looked like they might go speed sweep to Kevin Lucas. Widen out the defense a little bit. Minter circles out down the seam, and Evans throws him a fastball for the touchdown. Nice play call. Excellent execution.
And it's become very interesting now. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left as Tulsa can make it a 3-point ball game, and they do just that. So 34-31, and they have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
Yeah, you kick this thing off, you go down and play defense, and you try to get the ball back for your offense.
500 yards of offense, 503 to be exact for Tulsa tonight. 8th time this year. 15th time in the last 2 years under coach Phil Montgomery. He knows about offense.
Well, and the funny thing is, with 31 points and over 500 yards of total offense, they have not been nearly as explosive as we've seen them this season. It's funny saying that with 500 yards and 31 points.
Correct, but it's been the defense this game that's given up some plays. You talk about explosive, it's happened by Cincinnati. Phil Montgomery is now trying to fire up the faithful here tonight in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as it comes down to the final 3:12 in Cincinnati. And Hayden Moore back on the field.
And if you're Tulsa, you believe now with the momentum, you stop them here, get the ball back, your offense is going to score a touchdown and win this game.
Moore on the give to Green, and Tulsa's all over it. That defense stacking him right up. And a timeout taken. Only 5 seconds off the clock. This crowd is jumping here in Tulsa. And here we go with a play fake. And there it is, taking a shot. It's Guinness, and he can't quite grab it. And back there was Brady on the coverage, Jeremy Brady. Also Jordan Mitchell.
Well, Jordan Mitchell was on top. Brady comes underneath. They weren't going to let Geddes run by him this time as Brady gets on his horse, kind of reaches in there late, and I think it's a good no call.
But now they're faced with a 3rd down and 10. So they did take a shot, but this is going to be difficult now. Here's only 3 of 13 on 3rd down tonight. More rolling, passing. Rollins, does he have it? Yes, he does. Catch by Jerron Rollins for the 1st down. Unbelievable.
And the true freshman comes up with a big catch. I like the play call. Roll Hayden Moore out to the right, move the pocket, give him a target. The young receiver Rollins comes across the formation, goes down and makes the catch for the 1st down.
It's just unbelievable because they haven't made these plays all season, and they've had multiple ones like this tonight.
And this is where now you run the ball on 1st down, Mike. You force Philip Montgomery to take his 2nd time out on this play.
Green Bumps it to the outside and is going to pick up good yardage here on this first down run. It's going to be a gain of at least 6.
And Philip Montgomery elects not to take it on second here. He's going to take it on third. So if you're Hayden Moore, you let this play clock run all the way down. It's at 30 seconds so that they can wait till essentially 1:30 left in the game to snap it here. And then Philip Montgomery will take that second time out.
One more first down and this thing's over.
Yeah.
And it's 2nd down and 4. So Cincinnati in the driver's seat here right now. And they had a 3rd down and long and they converted. Now they're with 2nd and 4 and forcing Tulsa to use the timeouts. It's Green. We'll get 2 right to midfield. And here was the timeout taken by Montgomery. Cincinnati trying to play spoiler tonight here on senior night at Tulsa. It is 3rd and 2, a first down is going to seal this thing for the Bearcats. Moore sideline route and sails it over the head of Rollins. And Thomas was on coverage. Okay, Reedy.
Well, that's huge for Tulsa because they elect to throw it, and they've done it all night. They don't pick it up, so Tulsa doesn't have to burn a timeout. They still have 1 left, and obviously Cincinnati's not going to go for it here. I would be shocked. They're going to punt this thing away and play defense and see if Tulsa can go the length of the field to score a touchdown to win. But again, they only need a field goal, Mike, to send it into overtime.
Hayden Moore to the sideline. They got nothing to shake their head about, though, tonight. They average only 359 yards of offense. They have over 500 tonight. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. And they've done their job on the offensive side of the ball. Now it's up to the defense here, as Tulsa is going to have 1 and 19 seconds and 1 timeout still to work with.
Their kicker, Redford Jones, his length is about a 50-yarder right in there. So you're looking at about the 33-yard line to get to give him a shot at it.
His long of the season is 46. Here's Johnson on the catch. And right close to the first down marker, a tad shy, about 1 yard shy, 2nd and 1 on the way. Clock is moving. To tie his long of the season, they'd have to get to the 29-yard line. Flanders. First down will stop the clock at the 29 to move the chain.
And they can still use the middle of the field, the 1 timeout, but remember in college football, the clock stops after a first down. That's why they ran it right there.
Evans stepping up in the pocket again. Johnson sideline, and he's kept in bounds. Good job by Lyndon Stevens. But it is a first, so once again, a quick stoppage to move the chain.
And it's going to start again quickly, but a good job by the young receiver Johnson to get past the sticks, so when he made the catch, it was a first down.
Look at how fast they move. Evans again over the middle, and it's off the hands of Johnson.
And that time, Dane Evans just reared back, and it just went a little high on him. It's a fastball that Keenan Johnson couldn't come down with, but he was wide open there, Mike. Would have been a huge reception.
Phil Montgomery, the head coach and the offensive coordinator, done this number of times. 5 consecutive bowl games with Baylor from 2010 to 2014. The nation's leading offense for those 2 straight years from 2013 and 14. And has brought it here to Tulsa. And Dane Evans, the senior, gets it to Atkinson. Another senior, the wide receiver inside the Cincinnati 40. And they're inching their way closer to field goal range, a gain of 22.
Just great job by Dane Evans to keep that play alive, extend it, and find Atkinson.
And they run it here, and the pass is Johnson with a catch inside the 25, still on his feet. Do they use the timeout here to the 20 as the clock reads 12 seconds left? Coach Montgomery, no, they want to spike it, and that will stop the clock with 10 seconds.
I think that's a great decision. Only 2 seconds came off the clock. Now with 10 seconds, you can still throw it down the field. You don't have to throw it in the end zone. If a guy gets tackled in the field of play and goes down, you still burn that last time out, and you get a chance to kick the field goal. But you never know. He breaks a tackle and scores the winning touchdown.
Evans, 23 of 36 for 269 yards tonight. He's over 3,000 for the season. Now remember, Redford Jones had that pinball 24-yard field goal just a little while ago that went off both uprights. 10 seconds left, 2nd down. Evans, they still have the timeout. Over the middle, it's Atkinson. He has it at the 5-yard line. 5 seconds to go, and Philip Montgomery does not take any chances. Timeout here in Tulsa.
So now at the 5, usually a play takes about 5 seconds, but since you're at the 5 now, what Philip Montgomery can do is take one shot with a back shoulder fade to a big receiver like Atkinson, see if you can score a touchdown and win the game. You should probably have 2 seconds left or a second left, but you got to be quick with it. You can't dilly-dally. Well, he's going to kick it.
Well, I could see where you were headed here, and Coach Montgomery is...
And that was the
very
100th play tonight for that Tulsa offense.
He's very risky, but not this risky here. They're going to go for the game-tying field goal and try to push this into overtime. Redford Jones, 22-yard attempt. Robert Hill snaps. Sam Gotch will hold. They get it down, and Jones's kick is good. 34 all here tonight in Tulsa. What a comeback by the Golden Hurricane. They trailed throughout the entire game, and with zeros on the clock, we're not at 34. What do you think is going through the mind of head coach Tommy Tuberville for Cincinnati?
He's just got to be saying it's one of those years, you know. But we'll see. Overtime, they're still fighting.
We'll be back with overtime right after this. All tied up at 34 as we get ready for overtime here tonight in Tulsa. Mike Corey, Rudy Angolia.
I mean, what a great job by Tulsa defensively to get the ball back, drive down the length of the field. Don't get the touchdown, but they get the tying field goal to send this thing into overtime.
Redford Jones, some 22 yards out. And Cincinnati, which once had a 24-7 advantage, they can only watch in disbelief.
Well, you know what Tommy Tuberville was thinking? How about that field goal that clanked off both uprights and went through?
So it's Cincinnati first from the 25-yard line. Overtime here at Tulsa. Hayden Moore has Tion Green in the backfield. There's a fake. Moore's in trouble. Is that a pass or a fumble? They're going to let it go out, and it's going to be recovered by Jerry Uwezoke. For Tulsa, they rule a fumble, and it's the Golden Hurricanes ball.
Yeah, Todd LaPenta threw the beanbag. That's the correct thing to do. Let it play out as a fumble, and if it's a forward pass, he'll let replay clean it up because you don't want to blow it dead if you're not sure. But we'll get many looks at this one, but right now it's called a fumble.
Review, the receiver was throwing the ball forward. Is that an incomplete forward pass?
Peter Voss, the replay official, Mike. A little side note, he's the only replay official in the American that's a former coach. He's not an official, and he's spot on. He got it right.
Although you and I are getting glaring looks from the fans
we're surrounded
up here
by two booths, but you see his arm clearly going forward as he tries to duck the hit from Hayden Carmen. But the arm's going forward, the ball comes out, and it's an incomplete pass.
It is the correct call. Fans infuriated, but it is 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. Cole in motion. But a fake to him. Moore spins out of trouble, and Hayden Moore takes a big hit and gets down close to the first down. A valiant effort by him tonight. Linscott gave him a shot, but he bounced off of him and runs for 9.
I mean, it looked like they were going to sack him. He spins out, and he almost picks up the first down.
3rd and 1 in overtime. Tulsa's opportunity in offense after this. If they could stop him. And they hold him, and it's incomplete. Well overthrown for Gray. Miscommunication, so let's see what they do.
Yeah, Gray ran a stop route. Hayden Moore thought he was going to go to the corner, and I don't think you risk it and go for it here. You kick the field goal, and then you play defense and try to keep Tulsa out of the end zone.
All right, so Josh Paisley will be a 33-yard attempt. Making a 34-yarder officially. 34-yard attempt for Paisley to put Cincinnati up 3 in overtime. Here's the kick. And it's good.
But that's what Tulsa wanted to do. That's why you take defense first in overtime. So you know what your offense has to do. They held Cincinnati to a field goal. Listen, you come out here, you score a touchdown, you win the game. So defense did their job.
Yes, they did. 3-point lead for Cincinnati with now Tulsa, who's had the experience in this position this season.
Yeah, they've been here 2 times before just this season alone.
However, if you're Cincinnati and you've been watching film, of course they have, you would have seen those 2 Dane Evans quarterback keepers for touchdowns that have given Tulsa the win in both of their overtime games.
He hasn't done one zone read tonight, so we'll see.
Flanders starts in the backfield, 4 receivers set. Touchdown wins it for Tulsa. Nothing for Flanders on first down, maybe a half-a-yard loss.
Well, the big guy, Cortez Broughton, right in the middle, 96. Gets off the block quick, and James Flanders runs into him. It's like running into a wall.
37th carry for Flanders tonight. 5 yards away from 200. Taking some time. What do you think?
Well, and this is the pace. Really, they're not at their best.
Well, Flanders hit again, and it's all Cincinnati there, and this defensive front making the stop. A lot of help. All white jerseys converging. 5 guys there on Flanders that time.
Yeah, Eric Wilson, the middle linebacker there again. Antonio Kennard, Mike Tyson. I mean, that defensive front and those linebackers really flying to the football.
Going to make this real tough on Redford Jones here if they don't pick up some yardage, and a field goal, a chance to tie it if they can't convert. 3rd and 10. Look out. Movement. Flags are down. Evans takes a deep ball. Atkinson. He's got it inside the 5.
And again, it was a free play, Mike. Offside on Cincinnati. Dane Evans knew that.
Offside defense, number 96. The play was declined. Play is the first down.
Such awareness. He's done it multiple times tonight.
And knowing that Josh Atkinson is a big 6'2" receiver that can go up and high point a ball, throw it up there, give him a chance, and he comes down on it. Comes down with it. 1st and goal for Tulsa to win this game.
Snap to Evans. Flanders up the middle. Touchdown. Tulsa wins it in overtime. For the 3rd time this year in extra time.
Well, they ran zone read, but Dane Evans didn't keep it this time. Gave it to his big back, and another walk-off win in overtime for Tulsa.
40-37, the final. Cincinnati had led the entire game. Tulsa came back to tie it at 34 to go to overtime, and they win it with a Flanders touchdown.
I mean, no moral victories, but boy, Cincinnati really doesn't need to hang their heads. They played very well tonight. Only traveled 59 guys, just decimated with injuries this season. They got a lot of young guys coming back, a lot of guys they redshirted, so that next year will be a lot better for Cincinnati.
The seniors for Tulsa will not forget about this game as they come back and win it. And the seniors for Cincinnati won't forget either. They let it all out on the line here tonight. An excellent football game between these 2 teams.
But fitting that James Flanders gets this winning touchdown with the great night he had, nearly 200 yards rushing to finish it off. The 5th-year senior out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. Pretty special night and pretty special senior night for him.
2 touchdown runs of 5 and 4 yards, and Tulsa is going to finish the regular season at 9-3 and 6-2. With the American, Cincinnati drops to 4-8, 1-7.
Again, a chance to have a 10-win season, become a bowl champion. Pretty good season for Tulsa thus far.
Well, a lot of fun working with you this season,
too,
my friend Randy. And that's going to do it for us. Thanks to our entire crew here on ESPN. Great to be with you tonight. Thanks for watching. Now let's send you to Anaheim, California. UCLA is taking on Nebraska, and the Wooden Legacy is part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Have a great night, everybody.